Myself, Shrishti Chaturvedi. I did my bachelor's in electrical engineering. Through campus placement, I was selected by Schneider Electric, one of the supply chain firms. And then I worked there for 3 years. And then I gave up my job and then prepared for GMAT. Then again, I joined another automobile company, MG Motors.
So how many years of work experience do you have?
In October around, I'll complete 4 years.
So why this thought of MS came to your mind, Shrishti? I mean, were you always wanted to do MS, or it's just a thought that came in your mind? I mean, do you wanted to see what's the thought process behind it?
I thought that in my organization I'm able to grow horizontally in different departments, but I'm not able to rise up vertically very soon. Also, I didn't had any management experience. I then searched for MBA as well as MS. I compared MBA and MS in two terms basically. First was definitely the return of investment, and the other option was OPT. So in MS for STEM courses, I opted for supply chain management, masters in supply chain management. So 3 years OPT we have there for STEM courses. So that was some sufficient amount of time in which we can gain some good experience. So that was the reason I chose MS. I was rigid that I need to do management course, but I wasn't sure which degree, MBA or MS.
You mentioned that, you had some confusion initially and then you took some time to figure out and all of that. Now, in this whole process, did you consult anybody, your friends or any well-wishers or any mentors that you had? You were confused, right? Obviously, you would seek help. So was there anybody that helped you?
Actually, during the time of preparation as well as selecting which course and from which university, I just consulted few of my friends in US, in Germany, till the point of selecting the courses and the universities.
Okay, right. You mentioned you took GMAT. How did that come into the picture?
GRE, there is vocabulary section that made me think that no, GRE is not my cup of tea. In GMAT only quant and verbal, these two are the main important ones. So that's why I opt for GMAT and not GRE.
So how did you go about preparing for GMAT, and what were the challenges that you faced?
The first challenge that I faced was time, because I started preparing when I had 2 years of my experience, but I couldn't give much time because I had a manufacturing profile in job. So finally I took a very tough decision and I resigned my job after 3 years, and I gave 3 months for preparation of GMAT. The second challenge that I faced was being an engineering student. Quant was quite easy. Verbal was quite difficult for me. So I referred YouTube channel for understanding verbal, and somewhere I got into a lot of strategies, 7 to 8 strategies, and I was so confused that I couldn't apply any one on one question. Third challenge was definitely the scoring system of different websites. I gave GMAT tests on different websites and I scored quite a big range of scores I received. So the lowest I received was 510. So I was very depressed at the time that 510, I'm not getting into any university with this score in next year.
Finally, you prepared for the GMAT on your own. You didn't take any sort of help?
Yeah, I prepared completely on my own. No help, only a little bit of help from friends and YouTube. That's it.
That's great. So in that case, how many attempts did you take and what was your score, and were you happy with it?
I only took one attempt and I scored 640.
So now that you had your GMAT score, everything was ready. So your next step was looking for B schools and application, right? So was there a thought in your head that, okay, fine, this is applications. Can I go ahead with this also on my own? Or did you feel that, no, I might probably need help?
First of all, I just listed out my university list and the programs. And then I started searching on YouTube and Google it everywhere, that where can I get good feedback or good advice for the application, like to write essays, for editing my resumes, and for LORs. I watched one video on YouTube. It was some student from CrackVerbal only, and he scored 640 in GMAT, and he got into MBA program in University of Pittsburgh. So I was okay, securing 640 and getting into an MBA, then I can get good master's admission with 640 score. CrackVerbal was one organization I contacted for CrackVerbal, 5 universities, and in a good amount. I got like a very good deal. So then I finalized that okay, I should go with the CrackVerbal. Then I came to know that Shrikala will be my mentor. I saw Shrikala's videos, and I just that confidence built up in me. That's why I finalized that okay, CrackVerbal will be the one who will be helping me for my applications.
Speaking about applications, so was there any challenge that you faced in a particular section, or say, for example, in terms of your structure? Did you have any idea? Was that all sorted out in your head, or did you need guidance? Can you mention a few challenges that you faced in the application?
Majority of the students are from the MBA background. They want to pursue MBA degrees. So I didn't knew that for supply chain management, will Shrikala will be able to give some good content, because she might be having good experience of consulting all different students, but for the specific supply chain programs. But that was the challenge that I actually faced. But the way Shrikala helped me out, she somewhat she knew more than me. Few terms I heard from her, and I was very impressed at the time. I thought, okay, I'm in the right hands. And for the structure, definitely I faced many issues, because I didn't know how to align I had a lot of content, I had a lot of experience, but I didn't know how to write it in 1 page or 300 words or 400. So for that, Shrikala helped me a lot. The first essay that I wrote was, I think, so 2 or 3 pages, because I wrote a lot of things. But then she edited in very good way. Only the main content were there, and in 300 or 500 words, she helped me to summify all my past experience.
So the other schools that you had applied apart from the Pittsburgh one?
Yeah, I applied for Purdue University, University of Pittsburgh, then University of Southern California, and Duke University, and University of Michigan.
And how many got back to you, and how was your interview with all of them?
Except Duke, I received admits from all of them, and with scholarship. So wow, I was very happy, because at first I thought 640 is not a good score to secure a scholarship. It's not only the GMAT score, it's also your experience and how you put it into a very good format. For Purdue, I had interview, and for University of Michigan, I had interview. For these 2 universities, the interview was, they just asked me about my past experiences, what are my short-term and long-term goals. So it was good. I consulted Shrikala for that also, that Purdue University, I have an interview. So what are the questions that they ask, and how should I represent myself? So she helped me in that also. Also, the other 2 universities, that is University of Pittsburgh and University of Southern California, without an interview, I was given an admit with scholarship. Finally, out of these 4, I chose University of Southern California. Actually, University of Pittsburgh, I received very first. In Jan itself, I received admit. Then I received from Purdue, and then from University of Southern California, and then from University of Michigan.
And what is the scholarship amount, if I may ask?
It is $5,000 for the entire session. Not that big scholarship, but still it will help me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, considering the amount of time, effort, and financially how you're going to invest, it's actually a great boost for Indian students. I mean, they do get motivated to study at a university and abroad, and congratulations on that. And what are your next plans now that you've chosen Southern University? So what are your next plans? What do you plan to do? Do you plan to continue? This is for 2020 admit, right?
Yeah. All 2020.
Right. Would you take it up, or would you be deferring it? What are your plans?
I'll be deferring it for fall 2021, because this semester will be, I think so, it will be hybrid. And there is there is a lot of uncertainty right now because we don't know what the US government will say as well as the Indian government. So considering that uncertainty, I'll be deferring it to fall 2021.
Right. So what are your plans till then? Are you planning to upgrade your skills? Are you planning to learn something new? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll be continuing my job as well as parallelly I'll be learning about supply chain analytics too.
If you'd like to refer CrackVerbal, would you recommend CrackVerbal, and why would you do that?
I already have referred one, and I'll also refer if someone took advice from me in the coming future, because this will be the decision that they'll never regret. So definitely I'll refer it.
All the best.
Okay, thank you.